Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to Ranger Danger.
Go, go, Ranger Danger. Ooh. Go, go, Ranger Danger. Ooh. Go, go, Ranger Danger. Matt and Michael's Ranger Danger.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Didn't see you there.
Yeah, because this is a podcast, it's audio only.
You heard us here. Woo!
Why are you a ghost now?
I don't know. Why am I not a ghost?
This is Ranger Danger. It's a podcast where we watch episodes of the TV series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. After that, we talk about it because we like discussing stuff. My name is Matt.
I'm Michael.
Lauren is back. Welcome back, Lauren.
Thank you for having me back again. 2 weeks in a row. It's very
You're
exciting.
welcome. You are the people's champion, so you've got to be there to champion the people.
That's right. It's nice to speak to the people again.
That's right. You know, you can't be elevated on your pedestal all the time.
Isn't The Rock the people's champion?
Not anymore.
I mean, I like...
Lauren is the people's champion.
I like Lauren, but I don't think she could take The Rock.
It'd be a close one.
I've got some tricks up my sleeve. I'll have you know.
I mean, Lauren did spend many years studying the people's elbow, the move. I think she could probably pull it off on The Rock. And I think that's the one thing The Rock would not expect is for someone to
use
do
his move on him.
on him. Yeah, he would not see the people's elbow coming for his
That's
face.
my strategy.
He can't smell what anyone else is cooking.
No, because he's so used to the smell. You know, he's acclimatized to it because he's spent so long with that smell. He won't see it coming, is what I'm saying.
Episode 92.
Yeah, this one is called Rocky Just Wants to Have Fun. If I have anything to say about it, he won't. But we'll see how that
But
goes.
you don't, because this episode is 20 years old.
You're such a killjoy, but a very specific killjoy. Like, you kill the joy of one person.
Yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Yay. So before we get to watching that televisual production using our retinas, we're going to go to our dumpster and pull out some mails that you have fan-mailed us.
Do you want to take another pass at that sentence?
No.
Okay.
If you want to send us a fan mail, you can use it by the interwebs. This is not going my way. rangerdangerpodcast@gmail.com is where you send us interweb mails. If you want to do it by Twitter instead, you can send us a Twitter tweet at RangerDcast. We're also on Facebook. We have a healthy discussion ranging there all the time. We're on iTunes and YouTube where you can leave us a comment. We're on Stitcher. I don't know if you can do things on Stitcher. Probably don't use Stitcher for communication, just podcasts. We're on Google Plus if you don't have a life. Tune in, yep. You can buy something from us at rangerpodcast.com/shop.
Buy a mug.
If you'd like. Or don't. We don't want to tell you what to do.
Or don't buy a mug.
I think that's it.
Yeah, those are definitely all the mug options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only important thing. I
Yeah.
think.
All right, so we've got some emails.
Yeah. Love emails. Let me just reach into the space time. So I might get them all out at once this time. I think lifting the lid up and down all the time is a bit not efficient, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, do you want me to get the lid and you can just pull them out?
All right, that's it. You grab it.
Hold on. Yep, that's it. Go
Got it?
quick.
All right. Okay, drop it.
Yep.
Okay, we're good.
All right.
Got them out. So we've got some fan mails here in my hand.
Yeah.
Let's do one first of all.
I just want to point out to the listeners, they actually mined this.
What do you mean? We actually did it. We got emails out of
Yeah,
the
I
dumpster.
know. Like, it's... Wow.
Well, how else would you get the emails out of the dumpster if you don't do the motions?
Okay.
That doesn't make... I don't know what her problem is.
We're not telekinetic. I
Yeah.
guess is what you're saying.
Yeah, we couldn't just do it magically. All right, so this first email is from Josh.
Yes.
And we've already put this picture up on Facebook when it came because it was so good.
Yes.
But I thought we should just mention it again while we're doing emails. So Josh was listening to our Z-Waves episode, and Matt, you hypothesized that instead of the episode we actually got, it should have been Lord Zed against Tommy in a surfing competition.
Oh, I saw this. This is amazing.
Josh has drawn it. It is amazing.
It is really amazing. It's something that I almost want to have framed up in my house. You know?
It's
that cool.
exactly what we were imagining.
Yeah.
But
Better.
better.
And I think the attention to detail is what I love so much. So we'll put a link in the show notes so you can check it out yourself. But
Yep.
it has Lord Zed with board shorts that have little Zeds on it. His surfboard is modelled on his staff.
Yep.
Tommy has White Ranger board shorts on. Just the little beautiful details in this are amazing.
Goldar's getting drowned.
As well he should. I love it. I love it so much. You can check out more of Joshua's stuff at www.thenoir noirguy.com. So that's NOIR for the uncultured people among you.
That's a very cool website.
Yeah, the noirguy.com. Awesome art.
I
highly
assume that means he
recommend
like stands behind frosted glass doors a lot and
it. He has very big fans in his office.
lots of light coming through like slats.
Yeah.
So
That's
it
right.
creates like stripes.
And
yeah.
he has problematic relationships with women.
Dames, Matt.
Dames.
Dames and gals.
Yeah.
Or
What's the difference between a dame and a gal?
age mostly.
Okay, so a gal is young,
Yeah.
dame is older.
Yeah.
Glad we covered that.
I mean, it's not gal Judi Dench, Sloan. Think about it.
Yeah.
All right, this one is from our good friend and long-time listener, Jeremy.
Matt,
Yep.
every time
Uh-huh.
his name is Jeremy.
Spelled with
We
a G.
think
It says Jeremy.
we're sorry, but you keep emailing us, so we hope you're okay with it.
Hey,
not
guys.
like you're asking for it by emailing us. Just I assume.
Victim blaming.
No. Just I assume it doesn't bother you that much because you've been emailing us for a long time. Thanks for
Unless he's masochistic. And
thanks
he
for
gets
putting
off
up
on it.
with Matt's bullshit, Jeremy.
He says, hey guys,
What if
it's
his name
Jeremy.
really is Jeremy and I've been doing the
Yeah,
wrong
you
thing?
bastard. I don't understand why Michael's so mean to our fans.
Jeremy, can you send us an email and just confirm for us? Thank you.
That'd be great. Thanks, Jeremy. So, Jeremy says, the podcast is great as always. Oh, that's nice. But he has two quick questions. Number one, he says, while I agreed with your Navy SEAL plan back when Rita was in charge, do you still think it's so wise now that Lord Zed is Moon King?
So just to clarify, this was our plan that if you sent a set of Navy SEALs to the moon, they could take out everyone up there pretty efficiently.
Why
Yeah.
are Navy SEALs?
Because they're good at...
Assassinating people.
Really?
You know Navy SEALs aren't like actual SEAls,
I know they're
right?
not SEALs, Michael. But are they? Is that what they do? Do they assassinate
Well,
people?
that's what happened to Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, that was SEAL Team
Oh,
6.
it was too, wasn't
Yeah.
it? We saw that movie.
Wouldn't it have been better if it was actual SEAls, though? That would have been better.
It would certainly be alarming and surprising.
Yeah.
You'd be taken off guard.
I probably
In the
would've-
middle of Pakistan.
Probably not good for the SEALs' health. Like,
No, they're pretty. They put them through a pretty hardy training regime. Like,
Yeah.
they'll be okay.
Only the strong survive.
Okay, so he says, I mean, a bullet to the head doesn't seem like it would deter him much. Sure, they might kill Goldar, but that just means Lord Zed would have to hire someone more competent, and he'd probably capture the Navy SEALs and make them his new team of evil Power Rangers. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, that's certainly a worry.
would he definitely hire someone more competent though? Like if he had someone more competent, it's not like he can't fire Goldar now. If there was someone more competent, you think he would have already brought him in. Like I feel like Goldar is as good as it gets in terms of moon hirelings.
I wonder if Goldar is on like a contract with Rita that even though Lord Zed's taken over the business,
Well, that does happen.
he can't
yeah.
fire
He can't
Goldar
fire,
because he's
yes.
signed a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
And,
The other possibility is that Earth is kind of like Alice Springs. You know, like there's jobs going, but no one wants to go there because it's so out of the way. And,
right.
You know, the pay is good, but everyone's like, oh,
All the
it just can't be
He's
competent
so
done.
isolated. I'd
Yeah.
be away from my family and my friends.
They're like towards the center of the galaxy where all the like
Yeah.
happening stuff is
All
going
the
on.
competent monsters are
totally.
overtaking KO-35 or
Exactly.
Munoi,
Yeah.
and they're just,
Yeah. But look, I would have agreed with this more earlier on in Lord Zed's appearance.
Yeah.
He's becoming more and more incompetent.
Yep.
And he does have an exposed brain where a bullet could go.
It's messed up, right?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, I think it's still a viable plan. Maybe. It is risky. The risk has gone up, certainly. But I wouldn't rule it out just yet.
Maybe we should just nuke the moon.
There's tidal problems.
Yeah, we need the moon, Michael.
Do we?
Yes, for
Yeah.
the tide. If science guy Jamie was still here, he would be able to back me up on that point. But
Plus, like, I think it would rain down upon the Earth.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a problem.
Yeah.
All right, maybe let's not nuke the moon. Let's do some more research.
Back to the drawing board on that one.
Okay.
Question 2. Are you guys still planning on playing that What Happened in This Episode in Japan game? I know the episodes don't always sync up very well, but whenever you skip that, I get a little sad.
Aww.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have trouble with that one because, especially now where it's just a monster,
Yep.
it's very hard to make that a satisfying audio experience for you because it's just me being like, I don't know. You know?
Yeah, I think the other trouble is I've kind of looked at episode summaries while we've been recording in preparation because a lot of the episodes are so drastically different. Like last week's monster was called Count Kaleidoscope and he created illusions to stop someone getting phoenix tears from a magical pool.
see, that actually makes way more sense.
It makes a lot more sense, but it's so completely different to what we actually watched.
I'd never guess it.
It's not like, oh, that explains a lot of things.
Yeah.
It just...
Kind of a weird non sequitur.
Yeah. So maybe kind of later in the season, next season, when we start getting a bit more synchronicity between stuff. And certainly when Dino Charge comes back, I imagine we'll be doing some of that.
And I think, too, maybe if we find a way to make it less gamified and more just like, interesting tidbit, this happened.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
Rather than, Anyway, we'll figure it out. He says, keep up the good work and try not to go to any peace conferences.
Well, we can't because we haven't made 2 new friends who could replace us yet.
Well, we have. They were on the podcast like 3 episodes ago. They did a pretty good job.
We did do that. Oh, were they trying to peace conference us?
Well, look, I'm saying it may happen. Rick and Kelsey, we're on to you guys.
Yeah, if
We
you
don't-
guys are trying to peace conference us, no, don't even think about it.
Although maybe I'm quite tired.
All right, we got a new email from Matt.
Oh, Matt. Yeah. He's messaged me on Facebook a few times. He's a cool guy.
Is it you messaging yourself?
No, he has 2 T's. I only have 1 T, Lauren. God.
Would you like
I
another
can't
cup?
see the email.
Sorry?
Would you like another cup of tea? Then you would have 2 teas.
You're fired?
From what? This podcast? You don't know how to do this podcast.
No, Rick might.
You can't peace conference one of us. We're all quitting or neither of us are quitting.
All right. Matt says, hey guys, I discovered your podcast several weeks ago and have pretty much listened to every episode now. That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, we're up to about 82 hours, I think.
Oh my god. Which is a shame because I was kind of enjoying binge listening to the shows. Wow, I'm glad it holds up on the binge. It's a weird
It
phrase.
actually does.
Wow.
I
Okay.
binged it before Christmas. Not all the episodes, but maybe like 30,
That's a lot.
which was a lot.
That's a binge.
It was
That
a
qualifies.
binge,
That's
yeah.
a binge-worthy... Yep. He says, I was giving some thought to the overall story arc of Mighty Morphin through Lost in Space, and was wondering if I could get your take on something.
So I guess spoilers for anyone who wasn't 8 in 1999.
Yep. I know you're nowhere near this stage in the story yet, but looking back, do you think, as I do, that the lack of any original cast members in the big Countdown to Destruction finale affected the drama of the episode and the overall conclusion of that story arc? He goes on to say, Zordon sacrificing himself for the greater good of the universe was
Spoilers.
fantastic storytelling and something that I would like to think the writers had been building to a long time. Though I realise I may be giving them too much credit.
Yeah, I was
there.
gonna be like,
So much more credit. Although
they're probably building up for it for like a week and a half.
I'm willing to buy that Judlin knew that was where In Space ended when In Space started.
Yeah.
But I would be very surprised if he knew that was where In Space ended when Turbo ended.
Yeah, I agree. And the Red Ranger being the one to land the blow, destroying Zordon's column, was beautifully poetic. However, I think the fact that the Red Ranger in question was not Austin St. John or Jason David Frank, and instead was Andros, a character who'd only been introduced that season, greatly took away from the heart-wrenching moment that it could have been.
I don't entirely disagree. I think if you had control, that character should be Tommy.
Yeah.
Right? Because Tommy was created to kill Zordon. And then for him to ultimately
Kill Zordon.
kill Zordon, but have that be for good.
Yeah.
That's the ending to that story.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's some nice poetic irony.
But it was 5 years after Tommy had started on the show, and Tommy was sick of being on the show. And so, what were you going to do?
That's the thing. I think if Tommy had been the Red Ranger through In Space, great. But you can't have Andros be the Red Ranger for that whole season and then get
Have
Tommy
Tommy come back and, yeah.
Just to kill someone.
Yeah, that's false for both characters,
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely.
So he goes on to say, this stuff to me prevented the blow-off episode of this 5-year saga from having the impact that it should have. Why do you think they didn't make this happen? You'd think they could have held off the complete overhaul of the cast until after this particular continuity had ended instead of doing it midway through Turbo. What are your thoughts?
I've got 2 feelings.
Yep.
The first is that I stand by Countdown to Destruction being the best 2 episodes of Power Rangers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it would have been more effective for me as a 9-year-old if it had been original Power Rangers. I didn't know who the original Power Rangers were.
Yep.
Those guys, to me, basically were the original Power Rangers. So,
I guess that's the thing to consider, is that when you're that age, to go from Green Ranger to In Space is about 5 years.
yeah.
Most kids generally wouldn't have made that whole journey.
No, absolutely not.
You age out of that, I'd say, in 2 to 3 years.
I feel like I got 3 or 4 years of Power Rangers.
Yeah. Before you're like, oh, Power Rangers, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I'm more into Polly Pockets.
Most people normally go girls is normally that, but that's revealed something very interesting about you that I think we should talk about.
Polly
on
Pocket's a girl.
Mighty Morphin Polly Pocket Danger. Yeah, no, I know Polly Pocket is a girl. Most people don't date Polly Pocket.
Well,
also,
that, they're
like-
lost, right? Right, boys?
She fits in your pocket, I guess.
That's so. I don't even want to.
Wow, that could be weird. So yeah, I think while it would have been nice for us now for that to have happened then, like, and I think we also have to remember that these were actors working on the show that didn't want to be there anymore.
Yep.
I don't think making Jason David Frank stay for another year and a half
Yeah, would have been.
good for anybody
The
involved.
the other thing is, this shit was all made up on the spot. I mean, we say it a lot,
Yeah.
but I don't think, like, they thought that In Space was going to be the last season
They didn't
because
have a 5-year plan.
the ratings for Turbo had tanked. So they thought, we'll do one more, we'll send him into space, we'll wrap it up. It turns out In Space was so good, the ratings peaked again, and they've gotten 20 years out of it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like at the start of Mighty Morphin, someone made a note that said 5 years from now, keep him around so that he can kill Zordon.
Yep.
And, you know, it wasn't like they were signing up for a regular 22-episode season TV show. They were doing like 40 episodes a year, shooting for not a lot of money.
Like a crazily small amount of money. Really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very good idea, and I think it's very interesting to think about in retrospect. But
There's no way it could have happened, I don't think.
yeah, yeah. So that's very interesting. Yeah, thank you, Matt. So Matt's from Newcastle under Lyme in England.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Is there just like a
Newcastle is-
lime in the sky?
Yeah, we call that the sun here in Australia, but
Is there green?
no, I think it's just a name. I mean,
Oh, they just call it the lime.
yeah. I mean,
Because
Michael,
it's round like a lime.
of course, England would have the same sun as us. It's on the same planet. Think about stuff before you speak.
I'm so sorry. All right, that's it for Email Corner.
Is that really it?
That's it for Email Corner.
All right. Well, send us more email, guys. We need some more emails to be in our corner.
Yeah.
I thought it was a dumpster.
Well, the dumpster's in the corner.
Yeah, they
Oh,
come
okay.
out of the dumpster and go into the corner.
Baby does put dumpster in the corner. We're gonna go.
Sorry, can you say that again?
I said baby does put dumpster in the corner.
Okay, that's not how that line works.
Yes, it is.
It's nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah.
So it should be dumpster. Anyway,
Nobody
It was-
puts a dumpster in the corner.
It was
Yeah.
an inversion, Michael.
speaking of weird, outdated references, we're going to go watch Rocky Just Wants to Have Fun.
Hey, segue. See you soon, guys.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya.
All right. So that was Rocky Just Wants to Have Fun. It was
I'd like to have fun occasionally.
But you have to do this podcast.
it was interesting in parts and soul crushing in other parts. But I guess we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So the first note I have on my list of notes for this episode was I hate you, Rocky.
Matt just wants to throw that out there as soon as
This one
he can.
was straight out of the gate. Yeah. That's all I got to contribute. You guys have a good episode. No, so we start off with... Well, we open with Ernie introducing a new machine to Juice Bar.
It's a pachinko machine.
That's right. A pachinko machine. Now, Lauren, do you want to try and explain what a pachinko machine is based on what you've seen this episode?
Okay, so it looks like some weird sort of pinball type of machine. That's what I would assume. And as you play it, more balls get introduced into the game. That's basically what it seems to be. And it's like a little box type thing. It sits on the counter. It's not the same size as a pinball machine. It's a bit more compact.
Yeah, so basically the way it works is it's not that more balls are introduced into the game.
I'm sorry, Michael.
I'm explaining.
This is for the listeners, not berating you. Lauren.
So basically the balls are like the prize. They're like tokens that come out of the machine the more successful you are.
Okay.
So the
What
goal
do you do
is
with
to
the
get...
balls?
I'll get to that.
Respect the process, Lauren. God.
So, you know, the idea is to get a jackpot and get as many balls as you can.
That's Lauren's idea of a jackpot, am I
Oh,
right?
yeah!
So,
Yeah.
here's the deal. In Japan, where pachinko machines are from, it's illegal to gamble for cash.
Oh, okay.
Right? What you can do is gamble for pachinko balls, trade those balls for a prize or a token, and go to the establishment next door and trade your prize or token for money.
Okay.
Because those two businesses are nominally
It's a legal
separate
loophole.
businesses,
Yeah, I getcha.
it's okay.
But what's he doing for it in this episode? He's just collecting balls. Like, there's no, like, pachinko exchange center next to Ernie's juice
Can we all
bar, is
agree-
Isn't there, though?
Can we all agree that that's going to be enough with the balls jokes? We're
Alright.
just...
All right.
I don't
Maybe
know.
one or
I
two.
don't know.
Okay,
I don't
maybe
know.
one.
I'm not going to commit to that.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so it's a legal loophole, basically.
Yeah, okay.
They can't pay out in cash,
Yeah.
so they pay out in balls.
Yeah, they do.
It's going to be a long one, Michael. Hang in there.
Yeah. Okay. Billy does point out that it's quite popular in Asia.
Yes.
Presumably he knows about that from...
Watching a lot of Sentai.
Yeah. So Rocky starts playing it. He gets about 3 seconds in, and he looks directly at camera and goes, "This is too fun."
I hate Rocky so much. Sorry.
So on the moon,
Yeah.
Lord Zed has observed that Rocky just wants to have fun.
Yes.
And he then follows up with, "That's all he wants to have," which is the Lord Zed paraphrase of that song, which is amazing. He calls Rocky a pachinko playing pest.
Power Pest.
Pachinko
Excellent.
playing Power Pest.
We love some alliteration. I like the thought that last week was rhyme. This week we're trying alliteration.
I was very impressed this week because he had to have come up with that in a few seconds.
Yeah.
He threw that shit together and it worked.
But, like, can I just say, I just have massive qualms with the way Lord Zed and also how Rita Repulsor do their business. They just wait for the Power Rangers to interact with something, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, there's my inspiration for my next monster." They are so lazy. They are completely dependent on everything the Power Rangers did. If they actually just spent some time brainstorming and try to just find monsters, I don't know. I feel like they might actually have a better chance of winning.
I can tell you if they started brainstorming, they'd invent an electrical monster who looks like a brain. That's how this works.
I'm pretty sure that would just be Lord Zed shooting lightning out the top of his head, out of his exposed brain.
That'd be amazing.
Look, I think we can all agree that
It's
they
just
are the
lazy.
worst at their job.
It's
Yes.
just lazy. It's just they have no commitment to being villains.
And it's a bit, and I understand this is just how it has to be, but the fact that Lord Zed was built up as this like incredibly efficient, ruthless ruler, and he gets to Earth and he's as incompetent as Rita Repulsor.
Yeah, because if it was super efficient, the show would be over. Like, the Power Rangers would be dead. Like,
Yeah, but it's not like it's presented as he's really good, but the Power Rangers are just that little bit
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
He's
He's on the
useless,
same level.
and they barely scrape through.
Sometimes he gets a little lucky.
everything.
Yeah. So he's going to cast a spell that's going to make Rocky just want to play games, not do anything important.
Yeah.
And also act like a monkey, but we'll get to that. So then, holy shit, it's Serpentera.
Yeah, Serpentera just shows up.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen Serpentera before, but that is hands down the coolest thing in the universe ever.
It's also the most disappointing thing in the universe.
I know.
So Serpentera is Lord Zed's giant sword.
Yep.
It stands about 10 times taller than the Red Dragon Zord.
It appears to just generally stay kind of flying around the moon.
Yeah.
So cool.
It lives on the moon, like
Yeah.
it's been established.
Yeah.
It's pretty rad.
It's pretty I think that if he spent more time investing into how he could keep that thing powered up, that would be it. Like, he would have...
If he could invent lithium-ion batteries. If
Yeah,
was
like, he would not have to worry about all these stupid other plans. He could just, like, seriously invest all his time and resources into that.
Just be like, Goldar, weekend project, stick some fucking solar panels on that thing.
The fascinating thing about Serpentera in this episode is this is not an event episode.
No.
This is not a particularly... It wasn't like
it
the
wasn't an
first
important
episode back from a
episode,
break.
yeah.
It would have been like maybe a Thursday, and it's just this big thing is just in this episode.
It escalates very quickly.
Literally just reusing all the footage we saw the last time it appeared.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to this a bit later, obviously, but what happens with Tor and stuff like that, Lauren,
It's
is exactly what
We've
happened
seen
last time.
that scene before.
Like, Rocky almost got squashed, Tor grew, protected him.
Well, I mean, they didn't have a lot in this episode. Like, it was a pretty weak...
Do you think that's what it was? They just ran short.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
fuck,
they
we
ran
better
short.
Add Serpentera back in.
No, because I think...
that just...
No, but I think that's exactly what happened, because there's not enough drama with just, like, Rocky wants to play games. Like, that's not enough to sustain a full 20 minutes. I reckon...
Oh,
But
it's-
that doesn't stop the show normally.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think the only way, and maybe this is, again, giving them too much credit, that this would make sense to me is if Serpentera is back in 3 or 4 episodes and they needed to remind people that it was an ongoing
It's
concern.
possible,
Sure.
but you could be giving them too much credit.
I suspect that's the case.
Yeah. All right. So Skull, back at the juice bar, he made a chart of every time a monster attacked in the last 6 months.
He's been doing a lot of research. We just need to point out
He's
the
got
fact-
lots of charts.
Yeah, like
and-
he dumps his papers on the table, and it is covering the table. He has been busy at work with this.
There's a pretty solid gag where, along with all of his bits of paper,
Yeah.
he places a box on the table that says pies
Pie.
pies on top. Bulk gets very excited until Skull reveals that that's where he's keeping his pie
Pie
charts.
charts.
And then Bulk gets really frustrated. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
So he says that every time that a monster has attacked, Ernie has had the day off.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
It's not true.
Yeah, because there are plenty of times when they attack the juice bar and Ernie is there.
Also, that would be 90 sick days.
Ernie is the sole proprietor of the only youth-centered business in the town.
Do you know what sucks so much if that was true? If he had like 90 sick days and you and your friends were like, let's go to the juice bar, and you get there and the doors are closed. You'd just be like, what are we going to do now? That day is a day ruined.
We've never seen anyone other than
No.
Ernie run the juice bar. Like,
It's solely...
It'd be a really shitty day for them too, because they'd be like, my house just got squashed by a monster. At least I'll go
really
get some
need
juice. They go to the juice bar, no dice.
do you think Skull in universe is just like off? Like it was the day after, and Ernie keeps having to take the day off to like survey property damage.
Or he just like has stress problems.
Yeah, he's
He's
just.
like, that's so stressful, I need a day off.
Possibly.
We've seen Ernie working every time, like regularly.
Because they always meet in the juice
Yeah, exactly.
bar before the monster comes, and Ernie is always there.
Maybe Skull is just legit insane. Like that's the end of the conversation. He went in, wrote some charts down, like imagined that Ernie had
Right.
been off all that time, and that was that.
Who knows? So everyone is in the park except Rocky, who's busy fucking around on a pachinko machine.
Yeah, because now Rocky has an addiction to pachinko, and of course Power Rangers tackles the complex subject of addiction with characteristic nuance.
I put it like, so...
It's a magic
You forget
spell.
the part where
If
it's
you
like-
know anyone who's addicted to anything, they've been hit by a magic moon spell.
Yeah, it's okay. Zordon can fix it.
Billy is concerned that Rocky would rather play games than do his karate tutoring or his homework. So he assumes something serious is happening. I just point out, he's a teenage boy. Show me a teenage boy who would rather do their homework and karate and isn't Billy. And
My headcanon for this episode is that Rocky didn't actually get hit by the
No.
spell.
He
Like,
The spell miss.
yeah,
the
like
spell missed, and it was a convenient excuse for him to be himself for a little while and to have an excuse.
he was just being a dick. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing magical happening, but Billy's like, oh, I better get the other Rangers. Rocky's clearly got a spell.
It's fascinating because this episode is played, especially the end, as a learn your lesson episode.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Rocky learns that there's times to play, but there's times that you got to be
But he
serious.
was under a spell.
Yeah, it's not a problem that he had at all.
Yeah, he didn't have an addiction. He had a spell.
And he didn't overcome the spell. Like,
spell
the
got
spell got
broken.
zapped away.
It's not even like at the start he'd said to Billy,
Man,
look, I'm going to
why
go
are we
spend... Yeah,
doing
why are we
this?
doing this? I'm going to go spend some time playing. Like, he said to Billy, this is great. This has been a productive study session. Thanks so much.
Yeah, and I'll study for a bit longer than I've got my karate session, and then Ernie turns up and he's like, I've got the pachinko machine. Even Billy gets up to look at it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not weird for him to go,
No.
yeah, I'll give it a try.
But then I'll get back to the books.
Yeah.
Like,
But if it wasn't a spell and he is actually a dick, then the episode kind of works.
I think that actually makes more sense.
It does. Anyway, the world's most actually adorable,
Oh
very
my God, she's so cute.
zen little girl comes up and is like, hey, Rocky, can we do our karate training? And he's like, fuck off, kid. And she's like, okay, sorry I bothered you. Because she's the nicest person.
I feel like the kid probably has like alcoholic parents or something.
Yeah,
and, like
right?
she's used to people just
Rocky's
yelling
like
at
the
her.
one person
Yeah.
who's just like, Mr. Rocky.
But, like, I feel like
some
she's
karate?
really used to people just yelling at her for no reason. Her basically being like, okay, no worries, you know.
And secretly she goes and cries and she's like, I just wish he hadn't let me down like everybody else did.
Jesus. All right, so everyone's down at the park fighting some putties,
Yeah.
playing some frisbee.
Not in that order.
No.
Okay, so playing the frisbee.
Because Zordon and Goldar are like overhead Serpentera.
Yeah.
And they get wind of the fact that they're going to try and like sort Rocky out.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, send down some putties to deal with the situation. When they're in the planet destroying, like...
No, it's not ready. It's not ready. It's too... Even though you could just land it on Angel Grove Park and kill them and not use any
Why
power.
wouldn't you just do that? That's genius. It's so easy.
You literally just have to like drop
Land
it,
it. Yeah,
turn
just-
it off, use less power, and just let it fall.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen, though, because... Thankfully it doesn't happen, because we get a putty playground fight, which I'm always fond of.
Yep, they do a Mexican wave.
They do.
I used to like call Zordon at some point, and I'm like, he's not going to help you. It's Zordon. What do you expect from him?
There's not more putties than normal.
There's
No,
like
there's
six,
not.
more putties
there's
than normal.
6 putties. Like, she's such a little wimp. Ugh,
They've got
Zordon.
6 people who fit in those suits.
I like the
And
idea that
6
even the
suits.
script is like, oh, there's 40 putties out, Rangers are outnumbered, and the director is like, nah, not going to happen, buddy. Sorry.
Every time the director's like, yeah, 40 putties, that'll be a great fight. And he goes to the stunt department and they're like, how many putties can we get? 6. We've got a max. We have these 6 guys. And look, Keith's off sick. Can you do 5?
Yeah, that's right.
And they're like, should we go back and revise the script? Nah, it's not good. It's not good.
But, you know, there's some cool fights.
As that fight ends...
Oh, hang on. Let's give some due respect to the fight here.
Okay.
Oh, the
Sure.
best is Adam.
Yep.
He beats up a putty and it goes up a slide, a playground slide.
That's
that
just
was
how good he is.
Beautiful.
And the thing is, there is now a lot of precedent for putties having like a strange relationship with gravity when they get hit.
Yep.
They tend to get like knocked up hills a lot. And like up trees.
It's because
and
they're
shit
from
like
the
that.
moon, Matt.
That's
they have
right.
moon gravity.
They have reverse gravity.
I'm going to take the role of science correspondent now to say no. Please don't use this podcast as revision for any kind of science exam.
Moon gravity.
Just like a switch. You know,
Yeah, it
flip
is.
Moon gravity on, you up to the roof.
It's like the north and southern hemisphere. You know, water goes in different directions. The gravity goes in different directions on the moon.
Hey,
How do you think they got the rocket to the moon, Michael? They just switched to moon gravity, so it went up to the moon.
I need you guys to know my eye is actually twitching, but that is a problem I've been having all week, and it isn't
You
caused
can't
specifically
blame our
by
your work stress on us.
So Rocky's running around like a fucktard.
It's just the best bit.
He like goes across the monkey bars.
He's playing with the frisbee.
Oh no, because cut back. He's at the arcade and Zordon calls him and he's like, "You need to go," and he's like, "Buzz off" or something typical 90s. And then he was like, "Actually, I could have fun in the park," and then he goes.
It's true. You can have a lot of fun in parks.
Paid for you by the Park Department, Canberra. I should have thought of that sentence before I started saying it.
You mean there's not a park department?
Maybe there is. I don't know.
Someone's got to pay for those parks.
Yeah, it's park scientists. Anyway, so Pachinko Head
Yep.
is our monster.
Michael asked, just like after he was made, "Oh, what do you think his name was?" I didn't have anything. The fact that I didn't just go, "Oh, it's probably Pachinko Head," makes me a bit sad.
I was
'cause-
like, I think it will be something to do with just games in general.
No,
But no,
it's Pachinko Head.
Pachinko head. So he's basically a pachinko machine with arms and legs.
Yep, he's a Pachinko Head.
Yeah.
If someone said to you, "Draw Pachinko Head," you good work.
"Yep, you did it. Good
Yep,
job."
you could be a Japanese character designer. So they all morph.
Yes.
And Rocky just starts like running across the screen,
This was really good. Actually.
like
I
waving
really
his
did
arms
enjoy
in
this.
the air.
It's such a like
He's
art.
just running around like an absolute moron. It's amazing.
It's such an arch representation of this idea.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he normally would be a little distracted, but no, he just starts flailing about.
He's going like, woohoo! It's
He grabs a frisbee and just like starts having a fucking ball with it. Again, this is Rocky in my head all the time. He's just tooling around, embarrassing everybody.
At which point, Pachinko Head turns Billy, Kim, and Aisha into pachinko balls
Yeah.
with their little heads on them.
That's pretty cool.
I really like... So, Rocky is running away and he's no threat to anyone.
Yeah.
Adam and Tommy just manage to, like, jump out of the way. And Tommy goes, "That was close." Like, no, that got half of you.
Yeah.
Just
Three
because
of
it
you are now
didn't get
pachinko
you,
balls.
that does not mean that was close.
Tommy doesn't care about the rest of the team. Tommy's all about Tommy.
I'm pretty sure Tommy thinks he could probably handle shit by himself.
Yeah.
And these guys are just like hangers on.
So Tommy goes basically like, okay, let's deal with him.
Yeah.
Adam has a moment of dumb and he goes, right, I'll go deal with him. Jumps at him. Instantly a pachinko ball.
Yeah. That wasn't a high point for Adam.
So Tommy needs a plan.
Yeah.
And Rocky and the pachinko machine start kicking around the Rangers, playing a nice little game of soccer.
That's pretty good.
It's actually-
So Tommy's plan is throw the frisbee really far away. That distracts Pachinko
But just
Head.
before that, though, that Rocky is playing soccer with the balls, and then the pachinko machine just straight up decides to turn him into a ball.
Oh, yeah,
anyway.
that's right.
It seemed really mean in
It
that
did.
moment. I was like, oh, you
Well,
did...
it's like, is he beating you at soccer pachinko head and you can't handle that? Like,
Yeah.
I'll show you, kid.
He has ego problems, that pachinko head.
Yeah, so his solution is to throw the frisbee really far away, and pachinko head, being, you know, silly and fun, can't not follow, and he does, and then he gathers the balls together
In his arms.
In his arms.
The fact that the, like, Megazord fight didn't involve a giant frisbee and the pachinko head running after a giant frisbee really disappoints me.
So,
Next
yeah, Tommy gathers all the balls and teleports them back to the giant head.
Yeah.
So Tommy says, like, look, they've all been turned into balls. Also, Rocky's been fucking around.
Yeah.
And Zordon's like, right, run a diagnostic scan. Alpha gets out like a glowing red glow stick,
Yeah.
runs it over.
No,
Before
before
he-
he even runs it over, Zordon's like, oh, it appears that Rocky has been put under a spell by Lord Zad to just play games and ignore his responsibilities. And I was like, he hasn't done the scan yet.
I feel like what happened was that Zordon saw it happen and then forgot, but then couldn't bring it up. So he's like, something's probably wrong, maybe do a scan. And then as soon as he whips that thing, he's like, oh, it's a spell. Oh, wow, that's shocking news to me.
It's like when you have to pretend someone's telling you a secret and you have to pretend you didn't already know.
Already know the secret?
It's like, oh, I reckon that's a spell. Sounds like a spell. All right, so back at the park, or no, they're at now a carnival.
Yep. Briefly.
Saba talks,
Yep.
and basically Pachinko Head just runs away.
We got 3 seconds of Ranger footage from Die Ranger.
Yep.
Because there was some White Ranger by himself. White Ranger being the only one from Die Ranger.
Yep.
So I guess they used what they could, which
Yep.
is basically nothing. Which reminds us of how shitty this setup is, where they can't use Japanese Ranger footage.
So Tommy summons the Tiger Zord,
Yeah.
and he's instantly thrown out of the Tiger Zord.
Yes.
It's
He's brutalized
Yeah.
by Pachinko Head.
so much of this episode is padding.
Yeah.
Like, just
It's totally unnecessary.
they couldn't have got a full episode out of Rocky being addicted to pachinko.
It didn't make any, like, there's no, like I was saying, there's no drama there.
No, but if they'd come
But
up
there
with
could
some,
have been.
that could
Yeah,
have
of course
been an
they could have.
episode.
Yeah. But they didn't.
They did it.
So Alpha manages to bring back Rocky.
Yeah.
I don't know why he chose to start with Rocky, given that Rocky is the one that they know is currently under a spell.
Yeah.
And even, like, guessing that fixing him might fix it. Maybe start with the guys who'll be useful right out of the bat, definitely.
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
And then,
in that situation, do Rocky last all the time. He's always the least useful, so regardless of situation. Sorry, Lauren.
I was just going to say, and like, instantly Rocky's like, oh, it's all my fault. Again, spell. Why have you, like, it's like when Billy's turned
into
evil.
a punk or
No,
evil?
when he's turned evil and he's like, oh, this is all my fault. And no one corrects him. Like, no one's like, yes, you know, or like, no, it's a spell. It's not your fault. Like, they just, it's weird. People go with these weird guilt
I'm
complexes.
pretty sure spells come from your heart.
Okay. Like, you secretly want them. Again,
Yeah.
victim blaming.
Well, it's magic. It's not me. I
And
don't
it's
think-
Rocky. Like, kind of deserves it.
So, look, they fight Pachinko Head. They beat Pachinko
So they
Head.
get the other Rangers out.
Yeah,
they
some of
summon
the
swords.
Megazords.
It's a pretty shitty fight.
Yeah, it's over very quickly.
Yep.
Because holy fuck, Serpentera's here!
He just drops out of the sky like, what up?
It was the best thing I've ever seen on this show.
So he goes to crush the Red Dragon Zord Warrior mode.
Yeah.
Tor shows up again. He
So
gets
who's
into...
Tor's just their friend? He's like a
Well-
little ally. I'm just curious. Like,
But yeah,
Well, he's a
basically,
giant ally.
Basically,
But-
what you've seen is
All the explanation.
basically all we know
Really?
of Tor, except that there was like 2.5 seconds of viewing globe footage.
Where he was a turtle that touched
There was a turtle
gem.
that touched a gem.
oh,
And that's all we know.
That is so cute.
Look, we all love Tor. Tor's
Yeah,
great,
yeah.
but we don't do anything
What
about
if
him.
Tor's secretly evil?
Well, he isn't, because turtles can't be evil.
Also, he could have just let them get
Wait,
crushed.
is he a turtle or a tortoise?
He's a tortoise. He
He's
has
a
feet.
tortoise, I guess, yeah, technically.
Yeah.
If you want to get technical.
Yeah. When you use real names for animals.
So then Serpentera can't crush the Zord because it's in Tor.
Yeah.
And then it runs out of battery.
It's the worst.
It's actually exactly the same footage we saw a couple of weeks ago, just this time not tinted red because it's on Earth.
And at least last time with the running out of power thing, they telegraphed it for ages. It was like, oh, flying to Earth. He used all of the power destroying that planet.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, that was a bad decision. So if Lord Zed hadn't have done that, he maybe would have been able to destroy the Power Rangers.
Yep.
This time it was like, oh, stepping on a turtle took away half its power.
No, I like to think they were joyriding before. So, like, whilst they're waiting for, like, the putties
Well, yeah,
to
they
do it,
took
he's
it
like,
to
well,
the
let's hit up
drive-thru.
yeah, like,
They
let's
took
hit up
it to the
McDonald's and get some McFlurry or, like, this sort of type stuff. Like, they were just having a badass time. Like, they were running around, like, with golf clubs hitting mailboxes. And so, like, they were doing all this, like, punk shit. And then, like, oh,
Golda was like, yeah, wouldn't it be so cool if we fired a huge power beam to destroy a planet that's 1,000,000 miles away? That'd be so crazy. And Lord Zed was like, oh, I couldn't. I'm gonna do it! Bang.
yeah, they were just fucking around and used all of the energy.
Yeah. And then they had to explain it to the other monsters later. So like, yeah, stepping on Tor took half the power.
Okay.
Thing Tor can do.
Here's the thing, though. When it runs out of power...
It can still fly.
It runs out of power with its foot on Tor.
Yeah.
Running out of power doesn't mean it can't lift its foot off Tor. And it doesn't mean it can't leave. What does running out of power actually mean? If it can still move its feet and fly...
Well,
What
power.
else does it need?
Power is really just another word for having the will to step on something. I think. And I mean, like, aren't they really just the having the will to step on things Rangers? Is that not what this show has been about all along? Oh,
You've been misled.
no, I'm confused then.
So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
End of fight?
Serpentera leaves.
Can you even call that a fight? Not really. Not really.
I would say it
I
was,
often step on tortoises and call them fight.
Oh, I mean, look, who doesn't? But, so,
It's okay, I step off again because I run out of power.
you run out of the will to crush.
Yeah.
back at the youth centre, Bulk or Skull says to Ernie, "You were here the whole time."
Yeah.
And Ernie just gives him a, "Yeah, what's new?" It's just a great, like, yes, Ernie is there all the time. He's the only person who runs this business.
That's his life, and he probably hates it. He's like, yeah, don't rub it in.
yeah, I am here all the time. I know that.
Like my bedroom is out back. Like, I
6
live-
months ago.
This is why I could never love.
6 months ago, this place made no money. No one new ever moves to this town. It's just...
Oh, it's bleak.
He's bleak. Rocky, he says, I've learnt my lesson.
Yeah.
There's a time for work and a time for play.
Yeah.
That was not a lesson that you needed to... I mean, it's not a terrible lesson.
It's not. No, it's a good
but
lesson. But
it's not a lesson that you are presented as needing to learn.
Yeah, it would certainly be better if someone who needed to learn that lesson learned that lesson. But, yeah, who knows story, right? Like, it's so crazy.
So... because they destroyed the monster,
Yeah.
the pachinko machine just reappears on the end of Ernie's counter.
Yeah.
There's a great shot where he, like, just looks over, sees it, and he does a double take.
Yeah.
But other than the double take, he just goes, "Hey, look, it's back." Like, things in this town just occasionally go missing for a couple of hours, become giant demon monsters, and then show up again.
I would be so distrusting of something that had previously been a giant demon. I'd be like, all right, this needs to go to the bottom of the ocean.
Can you imagine you went to get your car after a day's shopping? It's not there.
It's
There's
a
a
demon.
giant monster the size of like a 30-story building crushing the city, shaped like your car,
I wouldn't trust
throwing
it again.
number plates at things. And then another giant robot comes, stabs it with a sword, it explodes, right? Your car reappears, and you go, right, okay, well,
You put your
I need
can-
some milk, so sure ain't gonna walk. So the pachinko machine comes back, And then Ernie goes to Rocky, "Hey, Rocky, you want to play some pachinko?" Because he's a horrible person. You just know he's the guy who, like, barges into an AA meeting with some, like, big basket of, like, beer in his hand. He's like, "Hey, guys, you want some brewskis?" And everyone gives him a sour look, and he's like, "What?"
He's an enabler.
He has a friend that's a heroin addict, and he's like, "Just gotta say, heroin feels pretty good, right?" Like, you probably shouldn't have any, but it's so good.
I know the last time that you had some alcohol, you were a horrible person to everyone you loved.
Yeah.
But I
Here,
bought
have some wine.
I bought a new bottle.
Yeah.
And
Don't
it's
want
not
to get
going to
away.
drink itself.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
He's not mean, he's just tone deaf.
But Rocky does not want to play some pachinko.
No.
He wants to go train this kid.
Kayla.
It almost feels like a sad ending where, like, Rocky was genuinely enjoying playing pachinko, and now, because someone cast a magic spell, he's never allowed to
play
enjoy
games
it ever again.
Like-
He can never have fun ever again because of one time that a skinless man on the moon did a mean thing.
I like the idea that if he ever has fun again, that starts to take over, and he starts just, like, flailing his arms and running around. He's like, I could never be that guy again.
He has to have, like, a heart rate monitor. If someone tells a joke that's too good, he has to go, "No, I can't hear the punch. I'm going standing outside." So, that's Rocky just wants to have fun.
Yeah.
That's all he really wants.
Yep.
Some fun.
Oh, you really want. So we've got to rate this episode appropriately. I think it was a Rocky on the Rocky.
It's a Rocky. There's
Aisha Adams
no
spectrum.
way it's not a Rocky.
I think,
Yeah.
and I agree that it's a Rocky.
Yeah.
I think if you pulled out Serpentera
Yep.
and pulled out the weird White Ranger bit
Yep.
and made it an actual character flaw of Rocky's that he learnt something about,
Yes.
that's a good episode.
Yeah, but it's not that.
No,
so it's a
God,
Rocky.
no. Absolutely. But I think...
You're basically saying you would need to rewrite the whole episode.
Yeah, I've often thought that about this show. I mean,
Yeah.
we've often thought that a lot about this show.
It's one thing when they have problems that are budgetary or whatever, and you're like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
But this
nothing
isn't
to
one of
do.
those
This
things.
is lazy.
It
it's
is just
lazy
lazy.
writing.
And it bums me out. How many episodes do we have to go before the season finale, Michael?
Before the season finale?
Yeah.
7.
What?
Sorry, 8.
That's not the season finale, though.
Sorry.
Some big stuff happens.
Yeah,
but
sorry. So there's 8 episodes, then like a big important thing.
Very important thing.
And then there's another 8 or so episodes, and then a season finale.
So it's really not
Around the end of the year will be
Yeah.
when that episode drops.
So we've really only got another 16 or so episodes with these Zords.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yeah, we're burning through this stuff.
We are.
There you go. Did you have fun, Lauren?
Before Lauren goes, we need to put Pachinko Head on the Ranger Danger creature feature.
That's true. Look,
I liked him.
I did like him. Yeah, he didn't.
He rhymed as well. He was a rhymer.
He was a rhymer, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He also turned the Rangers into pachinko balls, which is interesting, if nothing else.
and
It's
successful.
Yeah. So yeah, I reckon somewhere maybe top third of the list. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's no Serpentera or Pumpkin Wrapper, but
Definitely not. No.
how about... Is he better than Babu?
No.
No, I don't think so. I'm with Lauren there.
Okay. Is he better than the Slippery Shark?
Yeah, I think so.
Is he better than Pine Octopus? The terrifying clown pineapple octopus?
Everything is better than Pine Octopus. He haunts me.
I don't know. I feel
That
like
feels effective, though.
yeah, I feel like Pine Octopus was a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think there was a lot of Pachinko Head didn't really live up to his potential. I guess I'd say in a way that Pine Octopus did.
All right, well, what about between Slippery Shark and the Mutant Rangers?
I like that. That's, I think that's a
In
good
at number
spot.
46.
Yep. Not a bad spot for old Pachinko Head.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. I think we've covered everything off.
Yeah, yeah.
No swords to put on the sword board, sadly.
No.
No. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you again for Lauren for being with us. Always a pleasure to have the People's Champion
Thank you for having
on
me.
the podcast.
What do you reckon we'd have to do to get The Rock on the podcast? I mean, he's probably pretty busy.
I feel like he'd be into it though.
Maybe we should write him a letter.
Or maybe an email.
If you'd like to tweet at The Rock, maybe
Is that his Twitter handle?
maybe tweet at someone who's a little more obtainable for us first.
No.
Let's maybe build up to The Rock.
Start at the top.
Start high and then like massively lower your standards.
You know who I reckon we could get? Stephen Amell. I reckon he'd be into it.
I think he's probably busy.
Probably, but like we would probably have to fly to him.
I feel like we should maybe start with people who are local and not famous.
Yeah,
Which,
that's
to be
what
fair, we have been doing.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. We've just been doing our friends for a long time. So
We'll see what we can do.
all right.
If you have an idea for a celebrity guest that you think is...
I know some local quasi-celebrities. Do you want to build up to them?
Are you talking about Hugo Weaving?
Yeah, I'm talking about Hugo Weaving.
Okay.
If we could get
Yes.
Hugo Weaving... I don't feel like Hugo Weaving would be into it.
If I was friends
No.
with Hugo Weaving, I would not be doing a podcast on a Sunday. I'm just saying. I would just be hanging out with Hugo Weaving. No offense.
I feel like you'd sort of wear down his affection.
Yeah, I don't think you could spend every day with Hugo Weaving. He's not your dad,
I would spend
Lauren.
Sundays with him, you would think.
Oh, okay.
Like,
One day a week.
He really likes brunch. Hugo
I
Weaving.
reckon Hugo Weaving would love brunch.
Hugo Weaving is totally into brunch.
You would go for brunch and then go to the theatre in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Boom. Hugo Weaving friend date.
And he'd spend a lot of time talking with Kate Blanchett completely emotionlessly.
That's gorgeous. Picture it.
She makes me uncomfortable.
Why?
I don't know. There's something very cold about
I always
her.
get told I look like her. She's my celebrity doppelganger. Constantly.
I kind of see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Do you feel like Kate Blanchett has a warm presence that you would enjoy a conversation with her?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
She lives locally and her kids go to school in the North Shore.
Okay, so next week will be us, Kate Blanchett and Hugo Weaving.
Yep. Tune in for that one.
We know, we didn't see it coming either, but that's just the way a cookie crumbles. We'll be back next week with episode 93, Lights, Camera, Action.
All right. Movie themed. I love it.
Well, I wouldn't...
I wouldn't bank on that. It might be something about lights.
And a camera. Let's...
And punching.
Oh boy. Alright, so we'll see you then. Bye guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.